Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, this is part 2 of me answering the comments under this video. There was like 100 comments under there, so I wanted to make sure to get back to all of them. If you guys take the time to put the comment down there, I will take the time to go over them. It was a good video and it was very important, so I wanted to make sure to respond. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. So this is the video I'm talking about. This should clear up the exchange rate issue that I did on 4/24. 100 comments were on this bad boy. Pimpy, can you explain over, spot, and melt in buying precious metals? Please give an example in doing so. Thanks, I appreciate your knowledge. No problem. So if you go on to the market and you'll see gold and silver prices, these are known as the spot prices. So in this particular case, silver is at $28.39 an ounce. This is the spot value. So whenever you see bullion dealers, they might have a special going on and they might tell you something like, you know, today you could buy 1 ounce of silver, $1 over spot. This is what they're talking about. This is a spot. If it's $1 over it, just add the dollar to this. That's what they're talking about. Now the melt value is a little bit different. The silver dollar, the 50-cent piece, the quarter, and the dime prior to 1965 were 90% silver. So when they ask you about the melt value, it just depends on how many coins you have. They want to know if they melt them down, how much money will you get value-wise. I'll give you an example. You see here you have 2 quarters, a 50-cent piece, and 4 dimes. All these coins are 90% silver, so a combination of any of these coins that equals $1.40, if you melt it down, it would actually equal 1 actual ounce of silver. And silver right now is at $28.39. You just saw right now per ounce. So technically these coins right here, the $1.40 worth of silver, is worth $28. Because if you melt it down, you'll get 1 ounce of silver. But if you don't have $1.40 of coins, you just want to know how much a dime is, or how much a quarter is, or how much a silver dollar, just go and Google, what is the melt value of my 1964 quarter? And they'll tell you. Now, the 50-cent pieces from 1965 through 1970 had 40% silver instead of 90. That's a little bit different. And from 2021 to where we are today, the new Morgan dollars that are out, they're actually 99.9% silver. So they're almost 100% silver. You don't have to worry about the melt value, though. It's 1 silver ounce. I hope that answers your question. That's what the melt value is. How much is your coin worth if you melt it down to the precious metals? Pimpy, much love. Right back at you. John just showed that pic because a currency chaos opened up an hour ago in Houston, and that's what they had listed. Well, the picture definitely looks changed. It looks fake, like somebody altered it. But I love how when they post these pictures, they never give you a clear example of what you're looking at. They go, oh, look at this. You know what that means? No, what does it mean? Why don't you tell us what you think it means? The reason why they won't tell you that because they don't want to get in trouble for misleading you. I explained to you what the real exchange rates are that were on there that we can see. There's a slight markup for premiums. So when you go to exchange your currency, you're going to see that when they buy back, it's less than the value of the Iraqi dinar. And when you pay for them, it's more than the exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar because you have to pay that extra money to get the currency. Great explanation. I can say it's disappointing, but understandable. Thank you for all your hard work, Pimpy. God bless you always. Thank you. I appreciate that. If they drop the zeros and it's still an exchange rate of 76 cents, well, then you break even. But if you guys believe that Iraq is going to have a strong currency, then just hold on to it. Eventually they get to $3, even though they delete the zeros, times 3. I make a profit. I'll take times 3 with my I get like $15,000. I know that's not the $15 million that we were all hoping for, but I'll take $15,000 because I invested less than $2,000 for my Iraqi dinar. That's enough to get caught up on some bills or go to Vegas, one of the two. Wondering if the value of the ISX stocks will go down in value with the deletion of the zeros. No, I spoke about this. The ISX won't be affected at all. Not really, because they're already calculated into US dollars, so they won't go up and it won't go down. Thanks, Pimpy. Now it's worth less than what I bought it for 26 years ago. 26 years ago? If you bought it 26 years ago, then you have the wrong dinars, because the new dinars didn't happen until 2003, and your dinar should look like any one of these that you see in these pictures. See these? Or any of these. Hopefully that's what your dinar looks like. Utter nonsense. The truth of the matter is, if you bought the Iraqi dinar way back then, I think the exchange rate at one time was like 4,000 to 1. So if you bought the Iraqi dinar, you should have got 4,000 dinars for every $1. You made a hell of a profit, because where it is today versus where it was way back then is up big time. The current dinar did not become available to 2004. Well, actually 2003, but close enough. He probably has a worthless Saddam. Yeah, that's why I'm hoping you got the real notes and not the Saddam notes. In and around the time frame of 2011, I remember reading an article from the CBI indicating that their plan was to float the dinar, and after it reached a certain value, they would then remove the zeros. In this case, that would be good for us, because we would have time to trade in the dinar. Okay, I see what you're saying. If they're floating the dinar, that means it has to be on the Forex. And if they're floating the dinar and it goes up in value, then we have time to exchange ours if it goes to a really good rate real quick before they decide to delete the zeros. Yeah, that's always a possibility. But I don't think you're going to see the Iraqi dinar at its current state on the Forex, in my opinion. I might be wrong, because I would love to see it with the way it is right now with the zeros, and the value of the Iraqi dinar go up, and we can take advantage of that. I would love for that to happen. How do I send a picture I received from Iraqi friend? He says it came on the news today, sending a picture of Arabic. You can go right here in my group, Pimpy's Investment Chat, and post a picture right here, and I'll be able to get it. What came in the news? You can attach it in message. Here, better. Yeah, if you can attach it on here, I'll take a look at it. This makes the investment absolutely worthless. It costs more to buy it and hold on to it since 2005. Well, whose fault would that be if they're misleading you and telling you that you should expect to make millions? Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm going to make myself clear. I'm not saying that the rate won't change with the zeros on there. That's always a possibility. But I'm talking about, what is the probability? What is the reality of that happening? When I first started doing videos, I thought the same thing as everybody else. But that's how you know who actually does the deep dive, who actually does the research, is because as you go along and you get educated, you start learning about all these truths out there that people don't talk about. So they're not deep diving, they're lying to you. It's like Frank when he does the study of the IQD. They're not studying, they're telling you what they think. If they were studying, they would know what the deletion of the zeros are, what a LOP is, what things affect the exchange rate. Nobody out there explains those types of things outside of me. That's it. Basically, just getting your money back or losing it. If you believe the Iraqi dinar is going to go up in value, then just hold on to it. Once they delete the zeros, I'm not going to turn mine in. I might swap them and get the new notes, but I'm still not going to turn mine in. I'm going to wait till it goes up in value. This is in country. No way they could use that rate internationally. What rate are you talking about? Who says they can't use it internationally? Right now, the Iraqi dinar, for $1, you get 1,320 Iraqi dinars. But look at Vietnam. $1, you get 25,455 Vietnam dong. What do you mean you can't use that rate internationally? Sure they could. Look at Vietnam's. It's worse than Iraqi dinar, but I appreciate you chiming in. My take, if they're removing the zeros from the currency plays out, hopefully they will still increase the exchange rate to $3 or more per IQD. I would love for that to happen. That means that 5 million now becomes 5,000, times 3 becomes 15,000. See, that's what I'm talking about. I would be profitable. Sure, that's not life-changing, like somebody said earlier, but it's still profitable. So if they're going to delete the zeros, I hope they do change the exchange rate as well. Hey, Pimpy, you got a question? If they're going to cut the zeros, so how is it that they're going to work on like the $50 notes and the 100 notes? Well, the 50 dinar and the 100 dinar are not in circulation, but obviously they would do nothing to them. They would just change the denomination, the way it looks. You'd only delete the zeros off currencies like this. This is 1,000, see here? This is a 10,000. This is a 50, it won't change. This is 250, won't change. The look might change, but they're not going to delete zeros off this. They're already a lower denomination. Here you have 5,000, they take the zeros off there. 25,000, they'll take the zeros off there. I have a 50,000, so they'll take the zeros off there. But these lower denominations are not even in circulation. So if they redenominate, they'll just have a new look, but there's no reason to delete zeros off that. The lowest note is 250, and it's worth 25 cents. You can see right here, they have the 50. So there's a 250, the lowest is 50. The deletion of the zero kills our leverage. No one is going to make any big money. That was the whole point. That's what you were told was the whole point. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but my scenario is more likely than any other ones out there. In the 1990s, Mexico went through the deleting of the zeros, and it's just a mental game. Everything was as expensive as always. The deletion was just to make everything look cheaper. But in reality was that instead of a new car costing $100 million, it only cost $100,000. So yeah, that's what a redenomination is. That's not the case with Iraq. It's similar, that's for sure. Here's the thing, you can challenge them other gurus out there. Challenge them to this. Ask them to show you a time anywhere in history where the deletion of the zeros or redenomination to a country's currency was only off the exchange rate, but they kept the same currencies with the zeros on there. Ask them to show you that. They can't, but I challenge them to do so. We know for sure the exchange rate will also lose the 3 zeros. Yes, because that's how it works. We don't know anything for sure about the investment. Well, I know it's for sure. There are different options, and I just gave them to you. Pimpy, I have a lot of respect for you because a lot of things you say make sense, but you ignore my comment in the previous video where I asked you if you are making a calculation based on what you feel the new rate is going to be, meaning deleting the zeros off the note, not the current exchange. Then you made calculations where you was removing the zeros not only from the note, but calculated it by removing the zeros off the exchange rate. You're doing the calculations based on zeros being removed, not only from the note, but also from the exchange rate. Pimpy, don't ignore. What is your questions? I just showed you an example of how that works. Right here. See if they delete the zeros? Right here is where we currently are. See this? A 25,000 dinar times the current rate is 19. If they delete the zeros off the currency, off the bank notes here, then they're going to remove the zeros here as well. But it still has the same value. A 25 dinar with the zeros missing times the current exchange rate with the zeros missing, it's still $19. 19 here, 19 here. So I wasn't ignoring anything. I have never seen the question till now. I'm sure he didn't ignore you. It's just what you said was incomprehensible. I think I got it and I just explained it. The CBI must have fully convertible currency, freedom of capital movement. Iraq is entering reconstruction. Most pay for imports to rebuild countries with their own currency, not US dollars. Well, we heard that Iraq has switched to 100% the Iraqi dinar, but that might not be the case. I'm going to be doing the live coming up here pretty soon with the currency with the twist, as well as Delta, and they have some news about this. We'll look into that. So is the dream over? Don't dream it's over. No, we don't know what Iraq's going to do. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Evanescence, end of the dream? Wrong, Pimpy. No, Pimpy's always right. Pimpy, when they revalue the Vietnam dong, do you think they'll remove the zeros on that currency? That's a good question. I don't think I heard any mention of the Vietnam dong, first of all, actually revaluing at all. But doing any studies of the deletion of the zeros, I'll look into that and get back to you. There's a strong connection between the XRP and the IQD. The XRP stablecoin will be used for this exchange. What are you talking about? Who said there's a strong connection between the XRP and IQD? Let me tell you about the XRP that people are not paying attention to. Its original purpose was to be a stablecoin. If that's the case, the highest value of the XRP will be $1. And I've read plenty of articles that spoke about that. But if there's a connection between the IQD and the XRP and they become one and the same, well, then that means it becomes a stable dollar. Doesn't get any higher than $1. I mean, I'll take $1 exchange rate. Does not mean anyone will make a lot of money off it. Yep, exactly. Where is the proof of this connection? It's in the 5th dimension. It seems like people want to be willfully ignorant of facts and truth. You're telling me, brother. Give me any information about the Iraqi dinar. I have 350,000 Iraqi dinar. Thank you. Any information, go through all my videos. You'll have tons of information. So your 5 million IQD will be worth 3,800 US dollars. Did I get the math right? 5,000 divided by 2,500, 200 times 19. Yeah, that's right, but that's an interesting way to look at it. All you have to do is just take the 3 zeros off the 5 million, you get 5,000 times 76 cents, and you'll get $3,800. This is definitely an interesting way to look at it. So I hope that answers a lot of your questions. If not, just leave a comment down below in this video, and I'll make sure to respond to you if you have any more questions. Anyways, that's it on this one. I'll get back to you later. I'm out.